Hey, Big Brother Fanatics!
It's day 93 in the house, and what an eviction episode that was.
Yeah.
Oh, that was kind of like a veto eviction Final Four
cluster.
episode.
That's what it was.
We did miss last week, but that was only because we were watching some of the live podcasts that were going on and stuff, and so we decided to put our own
Yeah,
off.
sorry about that. It was crazy last week, so we
Yeah.
were trying to get everything caught up. And
Yeah, there was a lot going on last week. But since then, we had Tommy leave the house last week, which was a heartbreaking decision, which it reminded me a lot of when Judd left the house, which was...
Oh my God.
What was that, 15?
I think so.
Yeah, in season 15, when Judd left the house, he was sitting there crying. I mean, the same way Tommy was. He was begging people.
It was a little bit different, though, because with Judd, he was completely caught off guard.
Yeah.
I mean, Tommy was, but he was given that huge blow-up the night before, so it wasn't a complete shock. But
Yeah,
still,
but
I
I
mean,
think-
it pulled on my heartstrings the same way as it did with Judd.
I think it was relatively close because
Yeah.
there was a lot of back and forth of Cliff and Nicole saying, yes, we're taking you. No, we're not. Yes, we are. No, we're not. And it wasn't, I mean, at the end of the day, it sucked. It sucked to see all that go down. And we really did see some of the weaker sides of Cliff and Nicole as players. And we saw some of the stronger sides of Mickey and Holly as players.
It was kind of like I was honestly in the Twilight Zone for a little bit when Cliff was talking. I mean, I initially was just so angry. I was like, "What? Why on earth did you ever think that Holly would, or Jackson would take Holly over you?" And I was getting frustrated, and I was almost yelling at the TV, like, "What happened? What's going on? Like?" And honestly, I just think he was an extremely trusting man.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I can't fault him.
He
for
explained some of it tonight, and some of it made more sense. I can't say that it made sense, but his overall explanation is that the Final Four that was kept/not kept was not really a shaking hands agreement. It was just something that they all said they were going to do, which in the house, your word is bond. And so you should treat everything you say like a handshake.
Right.
I fully believe that. And if you plan on going back on deals, just own it.
That's the thing. Own it.
Yeah.
I want Jackson to stop saying that this whole reason for choosing Holly over Cliff is because they flipped last week.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Cliff is the reason that Holly stayed.
Yep.
Nicole was fully prepared to take Tommy. Like it was happening, and Cliff stopped it. And the fact that Jackson has no other argument but to say it was because of that reason, when in reality he didn't have a reason. The whole time he was taking Holly. It's like just own it. Just stop being a liar.
The words of Brett, just own it.
Yes.
I agree with that. I think it's been a widely debated topic this week as to whether or not it was smart for them to keep Holly over Tommy. Because, yes, they're leaving a showmance in the house. However, if they had kept Tommy was a strong competitor, and there was no deal. I mean, he said he would throw that HOH, but that doesn't matter. It's about the veto of that week, and that's what they should have made deals on.
But if Tommy would have won, I guess you are right. I mean, I guess it would have been a lose-lose for Cliff anyway, because Tommy would have taken Nicole.
Yeah.
So you're right. I mean, it was a lose-lose for Cliff. But at the end of the day, at least he wouldn't have been effed over.
Yeah.
Tommy would have been honest.
Yeah, to an extent. I think I do have to say
Tommy was kind of a liar.
I loved the dirty gameplay from Mickey. I think this is something as Big Brother fans that we do look forward to season to season. It was incredible to watch because what he did is he listened in on them having their conversation, took that information and made it sound like Tommy had said it back to him. Now, what Tommy doesn't know is the whole listening part. And so he's leaving that part out when he's explaining it to the jury house, when he's explaining it to Cliff and Nicole.
Right.
He can't quite catch on
to what exactly happened.
And
how he caught him and how he caught all of that. I mean,
it was
unfortunately,
a good gameplay.
It was a damn good play.
Absolutely.
It almost rivals some of the tops. And anybody can agree with that. Yes, it was dirty, but this is also Big Brother.
Yep.
And he had like a panic attack. He was like, oh my God. He listened to this whole conversation between Tommy, Nicole, and Cliff, left the room, and was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And literally constructed this plan in like 2 seconds and was like, I'm going to have to listen and I'm going to have to figure something out. And he did it.
During that situation, though, I didn't like how he kept saying he was doing it for Holly. I'm doing it for Holly. I'm doing it to keep Holly. No, dude, you're doing it to save your own game.
Yes.
Own that part of it, too.
Yes.
You are doing this to save your own game. You even said in tonight's episode, you were like, how, she doesn't deserve the money. I deserve the money. Very clearly, you're playing your own game. Stop trying to be this Southern gentleman and play the freaking game how it's supposed to be played.
That move of him keeping Holly over Cliff honestly might have cost him the money.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And the minute that happened, we both said, I hope Holly wins now. Because as much as Mickey deserves this win with everything that he's done,
this was a bad gameplay.
You kept Holly knowing that Cliff was going to go F up your name and everything. Why on earth would you think the jury wouldn't listen to Cliff? Why?
But the problem is, wait, hear me out.
He has this pride that he will not break.
Yeah.
He said he was going to take Holly, so he was going to take Holly, even if it was going to cost him the money.
Yeah, but then there's also pride that he made a deal with Cliff, and there was still that issue. But he had planned on breaking that from the beginning. Regardless, the problem is more if he had kept Holly. What would have happened? She would have done the same thing. It's not like they've been dating for years and years. They've been dating for a couple of months. She could easily go to that jury house and be like, Jackson's the one that sent me out. It was his HOH.
That's the thing.
Yeah, and he made this decision.
That's the thing. If he had voted out Holly, I do think she would have been pretty pissy about it.
He was after either way. I mean, he really was. Just the way Cliff was.
The way Cliff said it was so, like, best case scenario. Like, if he would have taken Holly out and she would have went, like, I don't know if she would have defended him. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe she would have. I don't know. But, I mean, if somebody just took me out, I'd be pretty pissed.
But hear me out. Just like keeping Tommy gave him a greater chance of having somebody on his side.
Right.
Cliff.
Holly was his.
Yeah.
I get it.
By keeping or by pushing, there's just so much there.
I get it.
So yeah, that was definitely interesting to see go down, and definitely interesting to see kind of how that all spiraled. I don't know. There wasn't much else that really happened. We are winding down to the end of the season. There's not a whole lot to cover. The conversation between Cliff and Jackson that was on the feeds tonight was fantastic. I think this move rivals Mickey's move that he made earlier on. I think this was an equally dirty move to say, you're going to send me out, but watch how I campaign against you, even though you deserve it. Now, Cliff said this to Mickey, but Cliff has also said away from Mickey that he does plan on voting for Mickey if he does believe that he deserves it.
Right.
So it wasn't like a 100%
thing. It's so hard for anybody in the jury to say who they're 100% going to vote for. I feel like you need to get all of the facts, and I feel like even when they're talking to you, like the final two are saying their spiel and answering the questions, I think that's really when you figure out who you want. Yeah. It takes a lot of planning, and I hope this jury doesn't vote on an emotional base. Like, I hope they vote with their heads and their hearts, not just their hearts.
Yeah, I don't think... I mean, think about this cast this year. They've all been overly emotional, overly lovey-dovey, overly like, we're all family, even though they hated each other the entire time.
Yeah.
And so I think this is a much more emotional-based game, and I think that's one thing that Mickey should have thought of. If he's going to be this great player, he should have thought of jury management at a much earlier point.
Way earlier. I don't know what he was thinking. He just thought he had it. Like, no, you need the jury to do it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I think that'll definitely hurt him.
That's probably the dirtiest part of Big Brother. I don't know if I care for the jury. Yeah. I don't know if I like that. I mean, you work so hard and then you have to, like, a lot of times you play a really dirty game. But that's how you're supposed to do it, and then you still have to be expected to get jury votes? Like, I don't like that. It's so hard.
But this isn't a physical game. This is a social game.
It is, but sometimes, unfortunately, the majority of the time, if you're doing well in this game, you're playing a dirty game. Yeah. That's how you do well. Yeah. And it makes me mad that they have to, like, still get votes. It's like...
I agree.
I've never liked that part.
I agree completely. One of the other big things that happened over the past couple of weeks was Nicole winning. Just back to... I mean, really, some of the most important competitions she won. She took an HOH in the double eviction. She took a veto when it counted. And while it was Cliff's decision and Holly's decision, she still won the HOH this week.
I think him and I differ on something. I am so proud of Nicole. It's truly great job. But she lost everything else. Mickey won 10 competitions.
Yeah, but look how dirty his gameplay is.
I understand.
Look how muddy that water is.
But Nicole didn't do anything, so of course she's going to be liked.
How did she get to Final 3 if she didn't do anything?
She got lucky.
She rode coattails, but then won when she needed to. Just like almost...
She didn't win when she had to. She couldn't win before.
In the pre-interviews with Jeff, almost every single person who got interviewed all said, I want to lay low at the beginning and play hard at the end.
Fine.
Granted, she waited a little bit longer than everybody else, but that was because Mickey and Holly were winning back-to-back. She stood no chance, but when it dwindled down and she needed to win, when she was going home, she did. They would have sent out Nicole over Cliff this week.
I just don't think that I could, in good conscience, give Nicole that win that money if she only won a couple times and Mickey won 10. I'm sorry, but you have to work so hard.
But that's physical comps.
Yeah, but you have to work so hard.
Is this physical or is this a social game?
Both.
It's more social.
It's
Big Brother is
both.
considered a social experiment.
No, it's both.
I don't know. I think we can defer on that. One of the other things I was going to bring up was something to do with Nicole, and I don't remember now. I don't know.
Nicole is becoming a badass. She cursed on television.
Yeah.
She said, Mickey, F you.
Yep.
I was so surprised.
Yeah. It was necessary. I mean, like...
But that was the first time ever she was mean without saying, oh my God, I'm being mean.
Think how funny this is, though. Because we saw last week, we saw Cliff and... maybe this week. Cliff and Nicole cornered Holly. And they said, like... what'd they say? They were like, you can still play the HOH... or you can still play for the veto as long as you keep me. That was just Cliff that said that?
Yeah.
And it's like, you can't flip-flop. You can't keep going back and forth. And that's where you don't have the right to be upset or confused or mad at these people because you're making the same kind of deals. You're playing the same kind of gameplay. You just got. Mm-hmm. And that's all that happened.
That's all that happened. And unfortunately, you can play so hard and sometimes it just doesn't pan out. It sucks. It really sucks. But I also think Cliff just loved being in this game.
Yep.
I'm so sad, but I think he's going home happy. I think he's at the end of the day he's going to be like, I did everything that I could, and I wouldn't be mad at myself if I lost because I was a trusting person. You know what I mean? Like he just had a really good heart and he trusted somebody. Agreed. And it's like I would never fault myself for doing that. I would do something like that, and I don't think I'd. And even if you went on Big Brother and did that, I wouldn't fault you for it. Like there's nothing wrong with being a good person.
When it comes to Big Brother, one of my biggest things has always been play the dirtiest game. It's fun for us to watch at home. It's fun for you to go through, and it's fun to just see.
But Cliff can leave though without anybody thinking bad of him.
Yes, agreed. However, I think a dirty game and being a bad person are two different things.
Agreed.
I disagree with some of the accusations that were made against Mickey and Jack throughout the season about some of the stuff they said because a lot of it was inconclusive. However, there were things said that were very not okay, and I think that's the difference. Play this dirty game. Play the Dan game. Play the Will game. But don't be that person that's... Exactly. There's somebody who's discriminating against others. There's somebody who's bullying others. That's so much different from the way that Dan played his game.
Yeah.
Maybe Will was a little bit of a bully. But regardless, not the way that this was.
Just gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
He played a dirty game.
Yep.
Not like anything personal with people.
Yeah.
I feel like Jackson got so much better toward the end. Like he was just playing a game.
Agreed.
In the beginning, he was kind of iffy. Like he was kind of wishy-washy, and same with Jack.
Yep.
It's like you don't have to go into this and just say a bunch of stuff that's not okay. You can just play a game.
Play the game. It is a social game, but it is. I mean, you have to remember that you are on live television, and I think that's one of the things that so many people forget, and they start saying stuff that's just not okay.
Not okay. Yeah.
But I do fully support a dirty gameplay, and I am 110% thinking that Mickey's gameplay was incredible last week. That was fun to watch.
It was.
That's what we look forward to.
There's no denying that.
I mean, the same way during Dan's funeral, Dan's screaming at Danielle and like yelling at her, and everybody's
getting her to cry and everything. Yeah. But did it work?
Yeah, yes. It worked. Absolutely, it did. Yeah, I think Ian still won that year, but I'm
still saying like it worked. He stayed in the house.
Yeah, he did.
He was gone and he stayed in the house.
Yep.
So that was amazing.
Absolutely.
And we have to also acknowledge the fact that Cliff did get out of the house and came back in.
Yep.
I mean, come on. He played an insane game too. I'm so proud of Cliff.
I'm proud of 3 of them. I think Holly, she won a couple HOHs and she won a couple competitions here and there. So sure, she was becoming a comp beast. But I don't think she had nearly the chance that Mickey did to make it to the end without each other. I think Mickey's chance of making it to the end is far greater because he could speak to people. He could play a game, whereas Holly would just get angry so quickly and blow up and get mad and then play a very like childish game from there.
I was really impressed with Mickey because, yes, we saw in the DR him getting really hot-headed and stuff, but if you were watching the feeds, he actually, like... I was surprised at how calm he was. When Holly would come with him with information, I would expect for Mickey to be like, what the heck? No, he stayed completely calm, and he was like, okay, how am I going to fix this?
Yep.
The same thing happened when he caught 3 of them talking, like Holly or Tommy and Nicole and Cliff. When he heard them talking, naturally, I would have assumed he would have freaked out and gone crazy, but no, he went to the room. He was like, how am I going to fix this? It's like he really did like separate his hot-headedness from the game, which
absolutely
was good. I mean, of course he intertwined them a couple times, but when it came down to the nitty-gritty, he did really well. So
I think another good example was when Cliff was standing there threatening him for a while.
And even then he still said, "I love you too, man."
Yeah.
I'd have been like, what the hell? Like,
which I respect that. While Christy and Nick and Tommy are all saying they love you to everybody, I truly believe that at least Cliff meant it, if not Mickey.
Cliff did.
Cliff and Mickey both respected each other on such a high level, and I think everything was just worded wrong tonight. Mickey needed to send Cliff out because Mickey needs Holly to take him to the end. That's all he needed to say. I'm sorry, this is best for my game.
But
I have to send you out.
But it wasn't.
But it might be.
No.
Cliff and Nicole would have targeted Mickey. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, 100%. I'm just saying, like, they wouldn't have beat Mickey. They wouldn't have. And Holly now has a better chance of winning that money.
But it's
going to be a Tyler and Casey situation. I bet you anything. Holly's going to win. Watch.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I think taking Holly...
Oh, God, I'd be so pissed.
Taking Holly gives Mickey a much greater chance of being at the end. Because...
Well, he will, regardless. He was going to get there anyway.
But what if he doesn't? What if Nicole wins everything and takes Holly? Nicole just won 3 competitions back to back.
Nicole won 2.
3. Okay, she had to throw the other one was thrown to her, but she still won it. A win's a win.
Whatever.
And BB Comics is a hard competition.
That was very impressive.
So is the puzzle one that she did. In an intense situation.
Okay, but there's definitely going to be one physical one. She's not going to win that one. Okay, we're getting off on tangent.
All right, regardless. I think it'll be a good rest of the season.
I think it will be a great finale. I'm super excited for it. But I hope I don't get sad at who wins.
Yeah. All right, ready to wrap it up?
Cliff, goodbye messages.
Tommy first, because we didn't do Tommy's last week.
I'm not going to say goodbye to Tommy.
You guys say goodbye to Tommy.
You go first.
I'll go first. All right. Tommy, wow, it was incredible having you in the house this year. You were by far one of the most entertaining and one of our picks for America's favorite. We'll be voting for you for sure. We saw all the ups and downs that you went through, but through and through, being able to keep a secret with Christy was incredible. And just being able to play the social game that you did, you had everybody on your side all the way until you left. And it was just incredible to watch. So I wish you luck in the jury house, and I hope that you make the right choice when voting for the winner of Big Brother 21.
Tommy, it was the saddest thing in the whole world to see you leave. Seeing you cry, honestly, just really hurt my heart. And I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. That was really, really dumb on Cliff and Nicole's part to not pick you. I don't know why they didn't. I think they just got spooked and freaked out, and it was their loss. But honestly, I understand, because if you had been against anybody, you would have won that money, because you are loved by seriously everybody. I did vote for you for America's favorite because you are my favorite. So good luck with everything. Maybe you'll come back to another season of Big Brother. That'd be cool.
All right, and then Cliff. All right. Cliff Hogg, Boss Hogg. I mean, just an incredible gameplay this year. The only rival that I've seen in the seasons that I've watched, which is almost all of them, was Jerry, and Jerry was nowhere near the social game player that you were. You had everything on lock. You had this gameplay, the strategies, the things that you were coming up with that you were going to be able to do with Nicole. It was so incredible to watch, and it was incredible to watch you actually perform what you said you were going to do. One of the other things, the camp comeback, well deserved. And it was incredible keeping you in this house. I think through and through, one of my favorite parts was just the Cliff Notes. The Cliff Notes where you were one of the first in the house to actually start telling us your plans and keeping us up to date with kind of what's actually going on in the house. So yeah, I hope once again that you do keep your vote to who you believe should win, whether that is Mickey or if it's Holly or Nicole. I hope that you make the right decision on that. And once again, one of my favorite players in Big Brother history.
Cliff, you are absolutely amazing. I don't have really a bad word to say about you. I was a little frustrated because I really wish we would have kept Tommy, because I think it would have helped your game. But you know what? It is what it is, and I'm never going to fault you for being a good person and for trusting in Mickey. That was not a fault. unfortunately did cost you the game, but it's not a fault. It's amazing that you had that much trust in someone, and you're going to leave this game with everybody thinking so highly of you. So that's amazing. Cliff Notes was my husband's favorite thing in the world. It was like the most fun thing to look forward to every single morning. It was so great to wake up to just hearing all of what you had to say about the game, and that was so much fun. And just Cliff Notes was such a cute phrase, and it was amazing. You really are one of now my top favorite Big Brother players, and I rarely say that. You were really fun to watch and so entertaining, and I hope you go into the jury house and you say everything that you want to say and you blow up whatever you want to blow up, and I hope that you vote for whoever you think is best deserving of it.
All right. Well, that is it. That is wrapping it up.
Yep.
Now, next week, I think we're still planning on doing it on Thursday, even though the season ends on Wednesday.
Okay. Oh, yeah, there you go. That's fair.
So we'll probably still record on Wednesday, and we'll just do a recap of the season, I think.
Yeah.
Rather than, we'll say who won and stuff, obviously. But all right, guys.
Sounds good.
Make sure to subscribe, like the videos.
Yep.
Hope you're enjoying them. And maybe we'll be back for a challenge season. Maybe we'll do that.
We'll see. We're going to talk on that.
That could be fun.
Yeah.
It could be a lot of fun. All right,
Especially
guys.
if Mickey's on it.
Oh, that'd be awesome. All right, guys.
Bye.
Bye.